All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we are diving deep into a theory that attempts to explain, well, everything.
Everything.
Pretty much, yeah. It's called the Cognitive-Theoretic Model of the Universe.
Ah, the CTMU.
CTMU, yeah, the brainchild of Christopher Langan. You might have heard of him.
Yeah, the smartest man in America.
Supposedly has an incredibly high IQ,
Ah,
and, well, he's dedicated decades to crafting this theory.
it's certainly ambitious to try to explain everything.
Right. I mean, it tries to tackle these huge conscious questions.
And what is reality, even?
Yeah, how did consciousness arise? What's our role in all of this?
Big stuff.
Big stuff. And honestly, even if the CTMU isn't widely accepted in mainstream science,
Which it's not.
it raises some really fascinating points.
It does.
So before we really jump into the deep end here, who exactly is Christopher Langan?
Right.
And what makes his ideas worth exploring? Like, why should we even care?
Well, Christopher Langan is a bit of an unusual guy. He's mostly self-taught, and he's been developing the CTMU for decades, drawing on all sorts of different fields. Physics, mathematics, philosophy, you name it.
Wow.
And, some people consider his work to be pseudoscience.
Right.
But others are really intrigued by it because it tries to, unify all knowledge into one coherent picture of the universe.
So we've got this independent thinker
Mm-hmm.
with this, radical theory about the universe.
Yeah.
What does it actually say? Like, what is reality?
Okay, so this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
The CTMU says that reality is a self-configuring, self-processing language, or SCSPL.
Okay. I'm going to need you to unpack that a little bit.
Yeah, it's a mouthful, right?
A little bit.
But imagine, a book that can constantly rewrite its own story
Okay.
based on what's already written. That's kind of how the CTMU sees the universe.
Interesting.
It's not just physical stuff, it's information that's constantly processing and evolving.
So the universe is more like a dynamic process than a static thing.
Exactly. And that process involves both information and cognition.
Ah, so it's not just data.
Right. It's the processing of that data.
The thinking about it.
Yes. Langan calls this infocognition, the idea that information and thinking are fundamentally intertwined.
Okay.
Two sides of the same coin.
So hold on. Are you saying that the universe is, thinking?
That's exactly what the CTMU suggests.
Whoa.
It's a pretty radical idea, but it's key to Langan's whole model.
So the universe isn't just a bunch of particles randomly bumping into each other.
Yep.
It's a self-aware system
It is.
that's constantly learning and evolving.
Learning and evolving, yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot to process. So if we're going with this whole the universe is a thinking machine analogy,
Mm-hmm.
where do we humans fit in?
Right. Well, according to the CTMU, we're not just passive observers.
No.
No, we're active participants in this massive cosmic process.
Oh, wow.
We're what he calls cognitive nodes, like individual processors in a vast interconnected network.
So we're not just living in the universe, we're actually helping it think.
You got it. The CTMU suggests that our choices,
Yeah.
our actions, even our thoughts, contribute to the evolution of reality itself.
Wow.
We're co-creators shaping the universe alongside this, universal mind.
Wow.
And this is where the concept of telic recursion comes in.
Telic recursion. Okay, another new term. I'm going to need you to break that down.
Right. So telic refers to purpose or a goal.
Okay.
So telic recursion is essentially the idea that the universe has a direction,
Okay.
a purpose it's moving toward.
Like a goal.
Yeah, and it achieves this through a kind of feedback loop
Okay.
where it's constantly learning, adapting, and improving itself.
So the universe isn't just drifting aimlessly.
Nope.
It has an ultimate goal,
It does.
and we're helping it reach that goal
We are.
through our actions.
Yeah, that's the basic idea. Now, this raises a lot of questions, of course.
I bet.
Like, what exactly is this universal purpose?
Right.
How do our individual choices impact the universe's evolution?
Big question.
Big questions. Those are great questions, and the CTMU does try to provide some answers.
Okay.
They're not always easy to grasp, though. But before we go too far down that road,
All right.
I think it's important to talk about the specific roles humans play in all of this.
Okay.
It's not just that we're tiny pieces of this universal puzzle, right?
Yep.
We have a unique function, according to Langan.
Okay, so what are these special roles we're supposed to be playing?
Well, one of the most important roles, according to CTMU, is that we act as a bridge between the physical world
Okay.
and the realm of abstract thought.
Oh, interesting.
Think about it. Humans are capable of understanding both the, concrete laws of physics that govern the universe,
Yeah.
and the abstract concepts of mathematics,
Yeah.
ethics,
Right.
even metaphysics,
Right.
we can ponder the nature of existence itself,
Right.
which no other species on Earth seems capable of.
That's true.
So,
We're kind of straddling the line between, like, the tangible and the intangible.
ex
Like, we got one foot in the world of matter and energy,
yeah,
and then the other in the world of, like, information and meaning.
precisely. And this duality, this ability to grasp both, the concrete and the abstract, is what allows us to interact with reality on multiple levels.
Right.
We can not only observe the physical world, but we can also make sense of it, find meaning in it,
Yeah.
and even influence its evolution
Okay.
through our choices and our actions.
Yeah.
And this is where that idea of infocognition comes back into play.
Right. Okay. Remind me how infocognition fits in all of this.
Okay, so infocognition, remember, suggests that information and cognition are intertwined.
Yeah.
So the universe isn't just this, collection of data, it's a process
Yeah.
of information constantly being processed and interpreted.
Okay.
And humans, with our, capacity for both scientific observation
Yeah.
and abstract thought, we're in this unique position to actually participate in this process.
Right.
So we're not just cogs in the machine. We're the ones who can actually understand the machine
Right. Right.
and help it run more smoothly.
So we're like the universe's mechanics,
Yeah.
or maybe programmers.
That's a good analogy, yeah.
Right.
We're constantly learning and adapting and creating.
Right.
And those activities feed back into this universal system and contribute to its ongoing evolution.
Okay. Yeah.
And this leads us to another crucial role humans play. We're meaning makers.
Meaning makers. So you're saying it's our job to figure out what it all means.
Exactly.
Like, why are we here and what's the purpose of it all?
Yeah, we have this innate drive to understand the world around us, to
Right.
find patterns, make connections.
Absolutely.
We want to know why things are the way they are and what our role is in all of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the whole point of this deep dive, right?
Exactly.
To explore these big questions
Yeah.
and try to make sense of it all.
And the CTMU suggests that this quest for meaning, it's not just some random human quirk. It's actually a fundamental part of the universe's own self-awareness.
Wow.
As we humans grapple with these questions,
Yeah.
as we create art, explore science, develop philosophies, we're actually contributing to the universe's understanding of itself.
Whoa.
We're helping it evolve to become more self-aware
Okay.
and complex.
So our search for meaning isn't just this personal journey.
Right.
It's actually woven into the fabric of reality itself.
That's the beauty of the CTMU. It
Yeah.
takes these seemingly individualistic pursuits,
Yeah.
our search for meaning, our desire to create and understand, and it places them within a grand cosmic context.
Right.
It suggests that we're not just isolated beings, we're integral parts of a vast interconnected system
Right.
that's constantly evolving and becoming more self-aware.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all ties together.
Yeah.
But earlier, you mentioned the universe having a purpose,
Right.
an ultimate goal.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that a little?
Of course.
Like, what is the universe striving for?
Well, that's a very complex question, and the CTMU offers a rather abstract answer. It describes this universal purpose as maximizing global coherence and comprehension.
Okay.
Essentially, it's about the universe becoming more unified, more integrated, and more capable of understanding itself.
Okay, that sounds really profound,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not sure I fully grasp it.
Okay, sure.
Could you give me a concrete example?
Sure. Imagine like a puzzle
Okay.
where each piece represents a different aspect of reality.
Okay.
Physics, consciousness, information, meaning, so on. The universe's purpose, according to the CTMU, is to fit all these pieces together
Right.
to create this complete and coherent picture.
Okay.
And we humans, with our unique abilities to bridge these different realms of knowledge, are playing a crucial role in that process.
So every scientific discovery,
Right.
every work of art, every philosophical breakthrough,
Mm-hmm.
it's like fitting another piece into the grand cosmic puzzle.
Exactly. And as we do this, as we expand our understanding of ourselves and the universe, we're contributing to the universe's own evolution. We're helping it become more coherent, more self-aware, and ultimately more capable of comprehending its own existence. It's a mind-boggling concept, but it's one of the most compelling aspects of the CTMU.
Yeah, I can definitely see why this theory would appeal to people.
Mm-hmm.
It gives our lives this sense of purpose
Yeah,
and significance on a cosmic scale.
absolutely.
But all this talk of a universe with a purpose, a universe that's thinking and evolving, is making me wonder, is the CTMU hinting at something like a universal consciousness,
Right.
a mind behind the universe, so to speak.
That's a very astute observation.
Okay.
And it leads us to perhaps the most fascinating and controversial aspect of the CTMU.
So what does the CTMU say about this idea of a universal consciousness?
Well, this is where the CTMU, it gets really metaphysical.
Okay.
Langan uses the term meta-mind
Metamind.
to describe this kind of overarching intelligence that permeates reality.
So
And it's not a god in the traditional sense.
No.
No, it's more like the ultimate source
Okay.
of all consciousness
Okay.
and information in the universe.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, the metamind is kind of like the operating system
Yes.
running the entire universe.
Yeah.
And our individual minds are like applications running on that system.
That's a great analogy.
Okay.
The CTMU suggests that our individual consciousnesses, they're like reflections
Okay.
or fragments of this larger universal consciousness.
So we're all connected to this metamind
Yes.
and through it to each other and to the universe as a whole.
Exactly.
That's a pretty profound concept. It is. It makes you think about like the true nature of our minds
Mm-hmm.
and the limits of our understanding. Like if we're all connected to this metamind, what does that mean for our potential?
Well, I mean, it opens up some incredible possibilities. I mean, think about it. If our minds are essentially extensions of a universal consciousness, then the capacity for creativity, compassion, understanding might be far greater than we currently realize.
It's almost like we're tapping into this vast cosmic network of knowledge and insight
Yes.
every time we think or feel or create.
Exactly. And the more we learn and the more we evolve, the more we contribute to the growth and understanding of that network.
Wow.
It's a beautiful and awe-inspiring concept, even if it's difficult to fully grasp.
I have to admit, the CTMU, it's a lot to wrap your head around.
It is.
It's complex, challenging, and certainly not without its critics.
Right.
But I can definitely see why it resonates with people. It offers a perspective that's both humbling and empowering. We're tiny, finite beings, but we're also integral parts of something much grander than ourselves.
I think that's one of the most valuable takeaways from the CTMU.
Yeah.
Even if you don't, buy into every single detail of the theory,
Right.
it encourages us to see ourselves as part of a larger web of interconnectedness. Yeah. And to recognize the significance of our choices and actions on a cosmic scale.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with something to ponder. If our minds are truly reflections of this universal metamind, what does that say about our responsibility to ourselves, to each other, and to the universe as a whole? What kind of future can we create if we tap into this interconnectedness and work together to shape reality in a positive and meaningful way? That's something worth thinking about.
Right.
And I encourage you to continue your own deep dive into the fascinating world of the CTMU.